And we're back for Jumping the Gun episode 7. Yeah, dog.
Siete.
Número siete.
Siete.
Anyhow, usual show for you. Got the NFL Week 6 recap, NFL Week 7 preview, NCAA recap and preview, MLB. We'll catch you up on a little playoff action. And then we'll talk. We teased you last week with some military talk. We'll actually dive into that this week. Got a couple questions for Clings over here.
We got time tonight. We got time.
Let's get it started. People lie. Numbers don't.
Go ahead, bud.
I got to start with the King, Derrick Henry.
Derrick the King Henry.
It's just hard not to talk about him. He's killing it right now. Another tremendous game, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. So the King is
He's
thriving.
scored in every game this year so far.
Who you got?
For the first one, I got Joe Mixon. My man, since he's been back, he just came back from the injury, but I think he's definitely the key to Houston's offense. He's got 102 rushing yards, a tutty, 32 receiving yards, and another tutty. So, $132 in total yards and 2 tutties.
All right, and to round off my list, I have Chris Godwin, 11 receptions, 125 yards, 2 tutties. And Bijan Robinson, 105 total yards and 2 tutties.
I got Caleb Williams, 226 and 4 tutties in London. Baker Mayfield, 325 passing and 4 tutties.
So a couple other nice performances by these guys. And
so if you had them in fantasy, props to you.
I'll say with Godwin, with that Bucs offense, you just never know who's going to go off. They're all liable to put up games like this, and this was Godwin's time.
Yeah, I got him in fantasy as well.
Yeah, nice. A nice little bump for you. But we'll dive into Week 6. We'll start with that Thursday game. 49ers 36, Seahawks 24. And I've been saying it. Geno ain't it for that Seahawks team. I think they have good players and they have a good team, but I understand Geno's putting up good numbers. I'm not going to discredit his numbers. Right. But when you look at them playing, they have enough weapons to where they could be successful, and he's just not getting it done.
I don't think he's as accurate as everybody thinks he is. Like you said, he's got great weapons. And I think that comes into play a lot with those stats that you do see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, numbers, they just don't tell the whole story. If you watch the game and watch their games, they should be playing much better than they are. They have the weapons on offense, and they're just not going to.
Where was Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, like their game plan should be feed him the ball.
Right,
it's just not.
On the other side of the ball, Brock Purdy, I got to give it to him. He looked real good. What do you have? 255, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. I thought that was just a good performance by him. It's clearly whenever he has Debo and Kittle on his side, when he has him out there, he looks great. But when he doesn't have him, it's a tough ball game for the 49ers.
Yeah, and for all those bettors out there, Jordan Mason gets hurt in the first half, and they just kept showing that motherfucker on the sideline.
Killed me, just standing there.
He's just standing there.
Just standing there with $100 in his pocket.
I know. I needed him for 25. I had their game special, whatever. It was 25 yards each half. Easily got it in the first half. Gets hurt, and then just doesn't play the second half.
I needed him for a touchdown. I think he was like negative 205.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And they kept showing him with his helmet on like he's about to go back in the game, and never made it.
Never made it.
Yeah. So we'll move on from that. Take it to the London game. London, eh? Bears 35, Jags 16.
I think that was an Australian accent.
I think it was too. I added the A in there. That was definitely Australian. Doug Peterson, he's got to be careful with what he says. Yeah, he said that they need a culture change. Careful, buddy.
He's allowed to. He's got a ring in Philly. He's kind of.
Hold on. I was gonna say, he's saying that they want a culture change, right? That culture might be firing him. So careful what you wish for.
I'm pretty sure they're trying to stick the Jags over in London.
There's always been rumors about them moving over there. They play over there enough.
They suck here, so try them over there.
Yeah, the Bears, you can't apologize for your schedule. They don't get to choose who they play. They're beating bad teams, but they do look decent. Especially that defense. Defense looks good.
Caleb Williams took full advantage of that garbage defense by the Jags. He had 2 TDs to Kmet and 2 to Keenan Allen. 4 total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just
so
went off.
Moving the ball around. Keenan Allen, he had 2, right? You said 2
Yep.
tutties? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little day for the old-timer. Anything else you want to say about that game?
Now let's keep it going.
Go ahead. Take us into the next one.
So Philadelphia beat the Browns 20-16. We moved to 3-2. First thing off, thank God that both of our receivers are back.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Jalen needs at least one of them to keep us in the ball game. What are you doing over there?
Fucking with my mic.
Okay. Your mic. Anyways, yeah, so as long as we have both of those receivers in, I think we're definitely gonna win games easily. I don't know what's going on with the play calling.
Yeah.
It's
still iffy.
I think Sirianni's spending too much time bickering with fans.
Yeah, what was that about?
Get him out of there.
I've been hearing that a lot from Eagles fans.
That's what they were saying to him. They were saying fire Sirianni, and he has to turn back and bicker with him. It's like, man, you're the head coach.
Worry about the damn game.
You're the head coach. Like, lead.
That just shows you that he's hearing that during the game.
Yep.
Like, bro, focus on the game.
Yeah, they're definitely in his head. You can tell he shaved his head too.
I saw that.
Once you shave the head,
you're in a crisis.
Yeah, you're in crisis. Look what it did to Brittany.
Brittany, bitch.
Brittany, bitch.
Yo, the Browns though. Watson just might be ass, dude. He might just be ass. Like, they're terrible.
Yeah. They got to do something. I think the head coach vouched. What's his name? Stefanski.
Yeah.
He vouched for him again this week. That's begging to get fired.
Well, that's what I was.
That's like saying fire me.
That's what I was telling you last week. It's like they're in a position where they need to bench him, but they just legit can't. Like, numbers wise, for all the wrong reasons, they can't bench him. So they're kind of stuck there. Their defense is playing better, kept them in the game a little bit, but the offense is just so.
Special teams kept them in the game.
But the offense is just so bad they can't do anything. So.
Just to wrap it up on that game, A.J. Brown, clearly a top 5 wide receiver, in my opinion, in the NFL. He had 6 receptions, 116 yards, and a touchdown.
Nice
he also had a
catch at the end.
Strong-ass catch to win it, chop it up. And then Goddard got hurt. He went down early in the game. I don't think it's too serious. I think it was a shoulder or a hamstring, maybe.
Okay.
I want to say it was a shoulder.
Sounds like you didn't double check today.
I didn't. I definitely was too busy.
Hey, it's all right.
But our backup, Grant Cal. All right, this is gonna be tough.
Here we go.
Grant Calcaterra.
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, Calcaterra. I used my Hooked on Phonics this morning, so I'm kind of like locked in.
Grant Calcaterra.
Well, he filled in nicely. I went to go grab him in your league, and Mikey was all over it. All over it.
He's picking up everybody he can.
Snagging them. But yeah, 4 catches, 67 yards for Calcaterra to finish it off. Eagles win 20-16. Let's move on. Go Birds.
Yeah, Texans handle the Patriots pretty easily, 41-21. Brissett flowers bring May flowers. You like that? But I mean, May looked all right.
It was a reach.
It was a little reach, but Drake May gave the offense more of a spark. I mean, couple tutties, couple interceptions. I mean, that's just rookie mistakes. I mean, he's going to learn. He's needs to learn from that. But he didn't look terrible out there.
Yeah, not bad. 3 tutties for a debut.
Yeah.
I'd be proud of myself. 2 picks. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, rookie kind of learning the ropes.
Hopefully his mom gave him a nice "you suck" before the game.
Yeah. And the Texans, they really had no problem with the Pats. We kind of said it last week. Didn't see any. This is one of those games where you could see an upset happening, but didn't really ever get to that point.
Joe Mixon, like I said earlier in the opening statements, he's a huge part of that offense. When he comes back, you can just see I think they score for 35 plus when he's in, and he averages 2 touchdowns when he's playing.
Yeah.
So that's huge. CJ really didn't impress me with the 192 yards, but he did throw for 3 tutties.
He just didn't have to do much because they got into a point where they just had to kind of run the clock out essentially. So not surprised there.
5-1 Texans. That's not too bad over there in the AFC.
holding down the AFC South pretty healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it to the AFC North.
Go ahead, big dog.
Ravens 30, Commanders 23. I said it earlier, but Derrick Henry is still the king.
That king.
They're finding ways to finally, like I said last week, getting him more involved and being more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar has full control of the offense, has that offense looking great. Had one turnover in the beginning of the game. I blame Mark Andrews off the fingertips, but Mark Andrews had a nice rest of the game. He turned it around. You called it.
I did. Yeah, great call. I knew he was going to – I didn't know. I just had a feeling today was the day. A weak Commanders defense in the middle. Linebackers are weak.
Yeah, so that showed because Zay Flowers kept going right over the middle.
Exactly, and I just had a feeling. On to that also, another call that I made last week. I said Ravens were going to defense up, right? Step up the D.
You said under 20.
Under 20.
23 is close enough.
Close enough. They held Caleb down. I thought they did very well. Jaden. What am I thinking, Caleb?
Rookie quarterback.
Both rookies.
There's a lot of rookies out there.
Yeah. I thought they did well holding him down.
Yeah, they slowed down a threatening opponent. What has been a very strong offense, so it was very not surprising. It was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Reassuring.
There we go.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was very reassuring to see them hold down an offense and a quarterback who's been very dynamic, very kind of having his way. Almost not.
I thought both touchdowns too were a little chaotic too. Like almost not. I'm not going to say lucky because you threw the ball.
Score,
you knew what you were doing. But almost like it wasn't designed. It was like a broke down play. And Scary Terry is, like you said earlier, very underrated.
He's a stud.
And now he has a great quarterback to help that out.
Yeah.
So
now he's got a good compliment to go with him. So I'm not surprised that he's putting up good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But that actually one of the touchdowns he had was right in front of us. That little toe tap.
Okay.
We were there with the baby girl.
Baby girl got
right
to
there.
see it. There we go.
Yeah, it was a nice play. And once he caught it, I knew it was in. Everybody's trying to say he's out. And I was
right.
Bro, he's got 2 feet in there easily.
You got anything else on this one?
One last thing.
I got one last thing. I'll cap it off with my last one.
The hip drop penalty that they were trying to enforce. I guess they're
tackle.
just not doing it because there was one play specifically I remember. It was Lamar. He was running out of bounds, and the dude hip drop tackled him. Crowd's going nuts. They throw a flag. We all think it's for the hip drop. They said that there was no horse collar on the play. We're like, well, yeah, no shit. That's not what we were like.
That's not what we're talking about here.
So I guess they're just not calling it unless someone gets hurt. I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case.
Or your last name's Mahomes.
There you go.
That's the only time I've seen that call.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the only thing I had left.
Last thing on the game. Fuck the Commanders till we are in the lead of the division. Go Birds.
Yeah, they're holding it down.
Let's move on.
Hold it down. All right, next game.
He's jiving over there.
Packers 34, Cardinals 13. And the Packers, they're hitting their stride with Love back, starting to stack some wins.
They're scary.
They're a good team. Good defense, good offense. They're not, I wouldn't say overpowering on either side of the ball, but just a solid all-around team.
I would say offensively, they're very overpowering. Jordan Love, I think this is like the third game that he's tossed for at least 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'd say overpowering because they're. I mean,
21 points.
This game, the Cardinals have been struggling recently. So
no, they just got that big win over.
They just got blown out by the Commanders.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks. Yeah,
that was 2 weeks ago. You're talking about.
Man, AZ's not looking too good.
That's what I have. The wheels are falling off.
Yep, that's a bad call. It's looking like a bad call. I mean, there's plenty of time, but it's looking like a bad call. I think if Marvin Harrison didn't go down with the concussion earlier, I think it would have been maybe a closer game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's a lot of their offense. They're trying to keep him involved because he's that much of a threat. So if that's not going for him, then they don't really have much outside of that. I mean, James Conner has looked good, but if you can't,
if you
can't pass, you can't run.
I was just gonna say, not only did they lose their star receiver, they had 3 fumbles on rushes.
Yeah.
Tyler, James, and somebody else all fumbled, and they lost all 3 of them. So that's 3 turnovers right there.
Turnovers are big in the NFL. Got to take care of the football. Got to take care of that rock. You got the next game?
No, go ahead.
All right. Bucks 51, Saints 27. The Saints, they're thinking that Sean Tucker must die instead of John Tucker. You seen that movie before?
I have.
The Bucs offense kind of had their way. I said earlier they have a lot of offensive weapons. Either can go off at any time. They have enough to spread the ball around everywhere.
Baker just continues to keep torching these teams.
The NFC South, though, I mean, I want to say it's pretty much a two-headed race between Bucs and Falcons. They're going to be, I mean, the Panthers and the Saints. Panthers obviously are ass, but the Saints, I got
the Bucs at low contenders. That's just what I put up my notes. I don't think they're going to be contenders for the whole NFC, but I think they'll make it.
They'll definitely be a playoff team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump the gun and say that they're a playoff team.
Oh, well, I mean, they're probably negative odds, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to tap on that Chris Godwin again. I got him that he's low-key one of my favorite receivers, and that 11 catches, 125 yards, 2 tutties. Mm-hmm. That's what I like to see on my fantasy team.
Yeah, dog.
Cooking them this week.
Anything else?
Now let's keep it moving. I got the next one because we'll keep it real short. Colts 20, Titans 17. All right, Chargers 23.
Hey.
Go ahead. We'll stop back at the Colts and Titans just for a sec.
We don't have to. Oh, I was going to say someone was excited for this game.
Yeah, no, let's keep it moving.
It wasn't us.
Yeah,
somebody out there was excited for this game.
Yeah, garbage game.
Hope you had fun watching.
Joe wins another one. That's about all we got. Yay, Joe. All right, Chargers. They beat the Broncos barely, 23-16. Bo Nix almost came back. The Chargers win, but I gotta say, I think Bo is getting a little bit more settled. He's looking a little bit more up to pace.
He's definitely getting settled in for them. My only concern with the Broncos, he was their leading rusher again. I think it's either 2 or 3 times now this season he's been their leading rusher.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
And that's not his thing.
I mean, he can be a mobile quarterback, but he's not known for it. What you're saying,
right. Yeah. He doesn't want to do it. He's very
just
precise.
doing it.
Right. He's doing it because he wants to win.
Right.
He knows.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Having your quarterback as a leading rusher, I don't really care if it's Lamar, Jalen. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. Your quarterback should not be your leading rusher unless they break off some big runs. But
absolutely, if your running back's not getting no yards, come on, what waste of space.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh has the Chargers in a much better place this year. Under Staley, they'd probably be 1-4. So Harbaugh, they've had a lot of injuries.
Coaching's definitely got them a few of their wins.
Exactly.
They got 3 of them.
That's my point. Like
I'd say 2 of those. This win definitely was coaching.
So Jim, props to Jim.
Yeah.
Harbaugh, great football family. He's doing his thing over in LA. Not surprised, but he's doing his thing.
All right, I'll let you get the next one since it's your boys.
No, fuck Steelers. Steelers 32, Raiders 13. I was hopeful the Raiders could pull it off when they went up 7-3.
Yeah, early lead.
Yeah, then the Steelers kind of woke up. And
that's exactly what I got. Yeah, the defense woke up, man.
Yeah.
That's the story of that game. Their defense and Najee Harris running for his first 100-yard game. That's pretty nice.
That was his first?
That's his first 100-yard game.
Hit. Damn, he sucks.
He's slow. He's just, to be honest, I think they got away from running the ball to him. After his first year, they kind of went into this like.
Well, they did a lot of splitting with Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
That's why. So the Raiders, they're just buns.
They still suck.
Booty bun cheeks.
Yeah, neither team really surprised me. I mean, the Steelers.
So they're just at the point
when
now.
When are they going to play somebody?
There you go.
I mean, I'm being serious.
It's facts. They got a good test next week. We'll get into that in a little bit here. Okay. But the Steelers, their style, what they've adopted is old school football, ground and pound,
smash
defense.
Mouth.
Yeah, run the rock and play defense.
I mean, I got to give it to them though. 4-2, winning games. As much as I hate to see it, I mean, it is what it is. You don't get to make your schedule.
Nope.
So, let's move on. Lions and Cowboys. How about them fucking Cowboys? This game was the game of the week for me. I know I called it last episode for everybody else, but you probably turned it off at about halftime. 47-9. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like the third game, I think, in a row that the Cowboys have let up 35 plus.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bash them a little bit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're
We'll take
just,
turns beating them.
They're on the struggle bus and they can't get off. They're going for a few stops, and
It's like six blind dudes in an elevator,
and
beating on each other.
It's also credit to the Lions' offense. They're a top 3 offense, number 2, if you ask me, behind the Ravens. But I mean, the Lions just have a lot of good offensive weapons, and it showed. But on the other side, Cowboys, they're missing Micah Parsons, but it's very, very concerning. They dropped to 3-3 now, and have, like you said, last couple games led up 35+ points. So just
Dak 178, 2 picks.
He's throwing some bad
53
interceptions.
rushing yards as an offense. 53.
Yeah.
A total offense.
Well,
53.
that's because they got down so much they couldn't run it anymore. But still,
Never abandon run. Never abandon
to your point about the interceptions, though, like they're bad. They're just bad interceptions. So, like, I don't know if he's getting baited or if he's just going one read, but there's just some bad interceptions.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, it's typical Dak.
So we'll see.
Nothing new.
Yeah, we'll see how these teams shape up.
I got one other thing on this.
Go ahead.
It's a jump in the gun.
All right.
Load up.
Guns loaded.
I think Jared Goff is gonna win the MVP. Yeah, yeah. He's playing lights out. I got it down. Or actually, I got it like the second note. Jared Goff playing MVP level, and I'm just looking at the 47 points. I've seen the Lions score that much more times than I've seen the Cowboys win this season. So it's like I got to give him props. 315, 3 tutties. Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Yeah, there it is. We had to get him going. All right, go ahead. Move it on.
Yeah. Falcons 38, Panthers 20. Yeah, the Panthers still bummy. I don't.
Yeah, we can do this one quick. Falcons look better. They're starting to get it together. Bijan has 94 rushing yards, 2 tutties. The Falcons like this. I can't. Here we go again.
Oh, here we go.
Algier.
Yeah.
So
Tyler Algier.
That's a J, not a G.
What's a G?
He's French.
Algier.
Algier.
Anywho.
Yeah. They like him. 105 yards and a touchdown. He has more carries than Bijan.
Yeah, so I'm glad you bring that up because we were talking about this, I think, earlier last week where we thought Bijan was supposed to be that workhorse.
If not third every down
back. Yeah. So
he is.
So they're splitting time with him and Algier, which Algier is getting his. I'm not going to discredit him. He's been playing well. But I just thought that Bijan was supposed to be that generational third down back like Saquon.
He definitely is. They're misusing him.
Okay.
That's my opinion on it. They could be blowing teams. I mean, and like you said, that's why they're blowing teams out. It's because Algier's not skipping a beat. But how do you waste? I mean, I guess you're not wasting it.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is. Not my team.
Algier's playing well, so you can't discredit what he's doing. But it's just. I just thought that Bijan would be getting the rock a lot more.
Yeah.
Personally.
Come on, Falcons. Feed them.
Bengals 17, Giants 7. That was a stinker
Snooze
of a game.
fucking fest.
This game sucked ass. Literally made me fall asleep.
Yeah, man.
I woke back up to finish it, but I fell asleep for a little bit. I was a little tired.
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, I'm just tired of the hype. They had all the potential last night with a struggling and broke down defense of the Giants, and they still couldn't get it together.
Well, I mean, Jamar did have 78 yards, but it just seems like that connection isn't what it has been the past couple of years, I think is what you're getting to. Like, they're just not – the hype isn't there.
Yeah. Just splash in a bucket kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where we got it? Giants make it a great B-Day with the loss, though, for me.
Mm-hmm.
All the NFC East teams lost, and the Eagles won, so.
That's a big come-up.
Appreciate that. I don't think – last thing I got on this one, Bengals, I don't think they're going anywhere. He's fast. That's about it. That's about all he showed me. I used to call him Jared Goff 2.0 a couple years ago. Got a lot of heat for that. I'm sorry, Jared Goff.
I'm assuming you were saying that he was a bust.
Yeah, basically, he had the Super Bowl run, lost, and then basically
They got traded away. Yeah.
traded away and going down the toilet kind of thing. But he didn't get traded away. Everybody kept hyping him up.
And they've been mediocre since.
And he's been mediocre ever since. So, and Jared Goff is now looking, just said it,
Points were made.
MVP. Let's go. All right, let's finish that. That's the finish of the...
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So we're watching this Monday night
good.
game that is currently frozen. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Technical difficulties. We'll get on that.
Yeah, NFL Week 7. We have Thursday night Broncos at Saints. This game, I didn't love either team. So I'm going to go with the Saints only because they're at home. Return of Sean Payton. I think the fans are going to be active because he's coming back to town, so they're going to want to get a dub. So I'm going with the Saints there.
Okay. I got to disagree because, well, that's what we do on this show. But no, I'm still on that Bo getting settled in. I think Bo and Sean Payton already knows his way around, so he gets in there, he steers Bo in the right direction. They get a couple nice plays against the struggling Saints and get the job done. Spencer Radler, he really didn't impress me. We forgot to bring that up.
Yeah.
He didn't impress me too much his first game, so I look for the Broncos to be scrappy in there.
Yeah, I think it'll be not that great of a game, to be honest, but I think it'll be close.
It'll be a 45-35.
Watch it just be a fucking shootout. It'll be kind of sick.
Hey, come on. We can only hope.
All right, we got a London game. You want to try a London or a British accent?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
A London,
You sound like you're from London.
Oh, you sound from... yeah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
that was getting out of control. Lock it in.
Pats at Jags. And this game sucks, too.
Why are the Jags still... keep them over there. Just keep them over there, all right?
There's a bunch of good games this week, but there's also a bunch of shitty games. I don't know if you looked at that.
I did. I actually didn't even pick a game of the week either.
We're gonna pick all these, but
yeah, let's get on it.
I took the Jags, just because they're still there. They stayed there,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, you got it. I'm just gonna go with that too. Let's just move Jags.
And if they lose, I'm never giving the Jags another shot. So I'm just letting that be heard now because I've given them too many chances and I've been burnt by them too many times.
Yeah, Dougie P, get it together over there. Get cultured.
Let's take it. How about you trade coaches? Sirianni for Doug?
No, I mean.
Sometimes you got to go back to move forward.
Yeah. Hey, now.
All right.
I mean, I'll take it.
Speaking of the Eagles, 1:00 games on Sunday. Eagles at Giants.
The return of Saquon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eagles because of that. I just think this Giants team. Neighbors should be back. He now missed 2 weeks from a concussion.
If Neighbors is back, it's going to be a closer game than we think.
Right.
Because one receiver always cooks us, and it will be Neighbors. He just has to be. They know the rivalry, so he's going to come out to make a statement, just like OBJ did against us. So.
And that's why I picked the Giants last week for that sense.
Hopefully he's not starting.
If Neighbors was playing, I thought he was going to toast up the Bengals defense.
Yeah.
So that's why I went Giants last week, but.
I don't want to wish bad injury or any kind of juju on anybody, but go ahead and take an extra week off, buddy.
He's definitely going to be back.
Take an extra week off.
He's definitely going to be back.
Take care of that chicken.
I might put him. He might be an anytime TD scorer for me.
That's not bad. Hey.
All right, next game. Titans at Bills.
I got the Bills.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Bills. If you pick the Titans, you're a psycho. Get help soon.
Gamblers Anonymous.
Call the number.
Call them.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Bills, they're tied right now 20-20 with the Jets. Got ourselves a nice Monday night game here. But the Titans are just so bad. They lose to a not that great Colts team. So I just see it as the Bills kind of having their way with them.
Yeah.
I'm going to say James Cook is going to score, but he might not play. I just want to put that out there. Okay. He might not play. He's not playing tonight. It fucked me, actually, speaking of which.
That's why I said again.
Yeah, it fucked me tonight because I'm down 15 points in a fantasy league. Very doable for James Cook. And then they announced like 30 minutes before the game he's not playing, so that was sick. Thank you.
We need a Breece Hall tutty here.
Thank you. Texans at Packers.
Is the next one. We're still at 1:00, right?
Yep. This is my game of the week.
That's a good pick.
I think it's going to be a good-ass game. Like we said, the Packers, good team all around. Texans, they're a good team all around, but their defense not as great as their offense. So I look to see that Texans offense test that Packers defense, see how really good they are, and see if the Texans defense can slow down the Pack.
So you're going Texans? Okay.
No, I went Packers.
Oh, you went Packers. I also went Packers. I got it written down when we just went over their last game. They're scary, man. So they're just one of those teams that I'm just going to keep riding until they show me that they can't put up 35 points or something like that.
I mean, it's going to be a good test for both teams.
At home in Lambeau.
Yeah.
The Pack is back.
2 top contenders from each side, NFC and AFC, so it should be a nice little game there.
Yep.
Lions at Vikings.
This is my game of the week.
I was between this one and the other one.
Yeah, this is my game of the week. You got Jared Goff playing MVP football, and then you got Sam Brady undefeated on the other side. I mean, this is a great matchup. I'll definitely be tuning into this one. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Sam Laporta gets another one. Vikings middle is
shaky.
Pretty shaky out of the whole Vikings defense. Everywhere else is pretty locked, but that Vikings middle, I look for Laporta to grab one.
Who are you taking?
I went Lions. I think Lions snagged this one. Finally do it to them.
I went Lions as well. I know we said last week that we got to put respect on the Vikings because they are undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
we lied.
That's not him.
That's not him. Who is that?
That's Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen. Oh, there's a flag. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Oh yeah.
Bring it
so
back.
I took the Lions as well. I think the Vikings
coming back.
Just have a tough test.
Yeah.
And I can see him winning, but I'm taking the Lions.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
The Lions were my pick to win the NFC North, so This is why. These games right here. So hopefully they prove me right.
Yep.
Seahawks at Falcons. I have both teams circled and crossed out. I don't know who the fuck to pick.
I went Falcons just because they won last week with a dominant performance on the run game. I think if they can run the ball like they did, Kurt will do what he needs to get them the win.
Yeah,
at home too. Unless they blow it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so that's where my head was at. I went the Falcons so I said I circled and crossed them out. But so my first circle was the Falcons. So I'm going to stick with my gut here, and say that the Falcons are going to win this one at home. The Seahawks just didn't show me enough last week. I don't know, so I'm just going to stick with the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm with you on
my
that. Gut. Yep, let's go.
Bengals at Browns. I just don't know. This is one of those coin flips for me. You get a bad Bengals defense against a bad Browns offense. So
I think
something's got to give.
I think this is the game the Browns look a little something.
I picked the Browns as well,
okay.
And that's where my thought is, because if
fuck the Bengals,
fuck
Joe Burrow,
and
fuck Jamar Chase,
I just don't see.
Oh shit.
I just think the Bengals defense is so bad, and watching the Browns defense against you guys, I think it's enough to slow down that Bengals.
They did well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
they slowed Barkley down.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be enough to slow down that Bengals offense for that Browns offense to hopefully figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, not hopefully, because I don't want them to get clicking and rolling, but for this game,
right.
For this game purposes.
Njoku had a nice game too. So I think if Njoku can get going, he's going to be a problem against the Bengals. They can't make tackles.
That offense just has to get going. You can't play bad against this bad of a defense, or else it's
right.
You got to sell the farm.
Yeah, even Danny Dimes looked all right.
Yeah. So next game, Dolphins at Colts. I'm just going to keep going against the Dolphins until they get Tua back. We saw today that he is coming back. So,
I think it was Mike.
Not this week. I think you said
it's Mike. Who's the coach?
McDonald.
Mike
McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. Yeah, he said that he has very high hopes of Tua playing football in 2024. That's what I read. So it's not I don't think it's anytime soon.
So he's still using coloring books.
I think Mike is just being very optimistic. I honestly don't see him coming back.
I mean, if it's taking this long, that should be a red flag. Like, hey, maybe I should hang up the cleats.
We got on that a little bit, and it's hard for that type of an athlete to give up his dream like that.
I definitely understand that.
But
we're talking mental future health.
Right. But exactly. I was just saying because that's your life.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a game no more.
Right. It's turned into that point where it's like, we know how much you love football and how much it means, but your life should mean a little more at some point.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
4 o'clock games. Panthers. Oh, wait, I took the Colts. I don't know if we...
Yeah, we said we were both riding.
Yeah, until 2. Okay.
Yep.
Panthers at Commanders. Same thing with the Dolphins situation all year, going against Panthers. Commanders taking them.
As much as I hate to pick them, Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, there's with the NFL.
I think it's a slaughter too, by the way. So
be.
So if you want to go ahead and hit that spread for this game, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, so I just with the Panthers, they're gonna sneak out a game here or there. He doinked it.
We still have a tie game. Yay.
So Panthers are just so bad. They're gonna sneak in one here or there. No, I don't know.
It won't be
Commanders.
this game.
Yeah, Commanders. Raiders at Rams.
Another just trash game.
Stinker of a game.
Like this, and this would be the one that they have on Red Zone all day. For some odd reason.
Yeah, I took the Rams.
I took the Rams. We can keep that one short.
Yeah.
There ain't not really too much to say on that. Chiefs 49ers is the next one. This is another potential game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't go with it just because fuck the Niners.
And fuck the Chiefs.
I took the Chiefs. I think I stay with the Chiefs until they lose.
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers. The Chiefs have to
There we
lose
go.
eventually.
Okay.
So I got both undefeated teams losing this week.
Yeah. I like it.
Might make it a slip.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, so the Niners, I think will be I thought we were the best test for the Chiefs. Obviously, that ship has sailed, so I think this is another good test for the Chiefs. Their defense is going to have to slow down that offense, like you said. When they have Kittle and Debo clicking like that, it's kind of hard to stop them. So, don't know if Jordan Mason's going to be available.
I think that
should be, I guess.
I think their closest game this year was against a terrible Bengals defense.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see.
So
we'll see what happens there.
You never know what happens. Who's going to come out on this one?
I see the 49ers defense stepping up and slowing them down enough to get the lead and maybe hold on. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football. Jets at Steelers.
Ooh.
Primetime pick.
The Steelers.
Jets.
No,
Jets.
Jets. I actually went Jets. I just said the Steelers like that because I was trying to do the Raiders accent with it. But I went Jets just because.
Did you go Jets?
Yeah, I went Jets, 100%. And that's only because I got Aaron. I got Aaron on my fantasy. I'm praying that he turns it around this year. So I'll be on them pretty much a lot this year.
Just pulling for your fantasy team.
Just pulling for the fantasy team.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, why not?
Everybody's got a little bit of bias in them.
A little bit of bias in me. And to be honest, their division is terrible. So I think it's up for grabs for Aaron.
I mean, it is. The look of this game right now, they're still tied at 20. If the Jets win this, that makes it very interesting.
Very.
Because they have Jets, Bills,
I got
Dolphins.
the Jets as my division winners.
Oh, Pats. Yeah,
Pats.
So that could make it really interesting.
Yeah.
Something to keep an eye on.
Monday night, here we go.
Birds.
Ravens
Let's go, Birds.
Buccaneers. Who you got?
Ravens, come on.
All right.
Come on.
Don't come across the table, but I got the Buccaneers.
You motherfucker.
Oh, shit. No. I had to go with the Bucs. Another fantasy, but low key. It's high key. Biased. I got bias for Baker, Swaggy B.
You've been on it though. You've been straightforward with it.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm hoping the Bucs win, but I could see the Ravens winning.
It's gonna be
a good game.
It's gonna be similar
100%.
to what you said last week. We get another threatening opponent on offense. A lot of good weapons, as I said 20 minutes ago. But it's just
And the Ravens, like I said, I think they're off and on. So this could be the game that I hate to say it, but off.
Could be. No, it could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
In
Lamar shines against the NFC. He's 21-1 all time against the NFC.
Okay. That's a great stat. No.
It is. Doesn't mean much because it doesn't win Super Bowls.
No. But that's a great stat for these picks.
It plays.
For this pick right here, that's great. I don't care about Super Bowls right now. We're not talking Super Bowls.
True. Ravens.
We're talking MVPs? Come on now.
2-time.
Hey, give him his flowers. No Zay.
Yeah, it's easy to say that the Ravens are going to win for me always. Just my go-to. I can see the Bucs pulling this out because, like I said, their offense is high-powering and our defense has been the lower half of our shining moments this year. Defense has been letting us down here and there.
I think your defensive backs are just going to be in trouble this game.
They're going to be put to test. I mean, we got Nate Wiggins. He's a rookie. He's had a good game this
He'll
past
probably
week.
be on Godwin.
Yeah, and then Marlon will probably be. We don't really play man like that, though.
You guys run
to where they switch sides. They stay.
And there's no on their sides.
Like
on their
Marlon
sides.
stays,
They stay on their sides.
Yeah.
They don't worry about the offense. That's how you're supposed to play defense, by the way. I don't like the whole best corner on the best receiver. I don't like that because that's just letting the offense dictate your defense.
Right. Now, Marlon, he does move
Play
around.
your defense.
Like, he will go to the other side, but they're mainly on, like, they stay in their
Well, if he has
lane.
the athletic ability to play on both sides, then I guess, sure.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yep,
Keep it the same.
Yeah.
But last thing on that game, I ain't going to lie. I just went with the Bucs because I need to catch up on these primetime picks.
Yeah, we'll cover those primetime picks.
And this is probably my best shot, one of my best shots to maybe steal one. So I got to go with the Bucs on that. So
yeah,
we'll
we got a Monday night doubleheader. So the second game there, Chargers at Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. The Cardinals.
I took the Bolt gang.
AZ baby, got to roll with the Cardinals. I got to stick with that. Them coming up and stealing the division. So I don't think the Chargers are. I don't think they're too good. I think the biggest piece.
They're just scrappy.
The biggest key to this one is the Cardinals coaching. I think they're going to get out-coached by Jim easily, and that's going to be the tell of the take is if Kyler can not play the way he did this last 2 weeks. If he plays anything better than that, then I think they have a chance.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. went down with a concussion last game, yesterday. So I don't know if he'll be back because that's
a full week though. That's a full week because that's Sunday, and then this is Monday. So he might be back.
No, he just this past Sunday, like this week, he got hurt.
That's what I'm saying. But by the time this Monday rolls around, Sunday will have already passed again.
I understand.
So it'd be a full week, and that's the protocol.
Devontae Smith has sat out a week because of it. Neighbors has sat out a week because of it. So I don't know if that's the new rule, but it seems like if you get a concussion, you're missing not only the rest of that game, but the following game as well. So he might not be available. And if that's the case, I can see this.
Yeah, being a.
But the Chargers,
you never know.
They also just don't have that scary of an offense, so it could go either way.
Yeah. Hopefully James Conner, for fantasy purposes, heats up.
There you go.
And steals that game.
All right, so my game of the week was Texans at Packers. Clings was Lions at Vikings. And we have our primetime picks. I have Saints, Jags, Jets, Ravens, Chargers. Got a whole bunch of them this week.
Say that one more time.
Saints, Jags, Jets, Ravens, Chargers.
All right, lock them in. I got Broncos, Jags. Where's the other one? Jets, Bucks, and Cardinals.
Big Bucky.
Let me say that one more time for the peeps. Broncos for me, Jags, Jets, Bucks, and Cardinals. There we go. Primetime picks are in.
And we're going to bring a new segment to you. We just hit on it this past week. This was Kling's idea. He's done it before.
Yes, sir.
He's done it in the past, so he brought it to my attention. Maybe we should try it, and we tried it, and we won. So this is called the Sexy Six.
The Sexy Six, baby.
And what we're going to do here is we don't tell each other our picks until we get right here face to face. So we don't know what we're bringing to the table. So what we did this past week was we took 6 games that we picked the same and parlayed them, and we hit.
They're money lines, by the way.
Yeah, just money lines. So if, like the Ravens this past week were minus, I think, like 300. Eagles were minus 400, but you parlay them with 4 other teams.
And basically, if you don't gamble, a money line is just picking the team to win.
Yeah. So we put 6 of them together. I think we got up. It was like plus 650 or something like that. We both put 20 on it. Cashed out a nice little 250 or 150.
Beer money.
So, hey, a little something. So let's go through our games here and see which 6 we have the same. Outside. Okay, so start from the top, and I'll mark which ones are the same.
All right, I got you. Broncos, Jags, Eagles, Bills, Packers, Lions, Falcons, Browns, Colts, Commanders, Rams, Chiefs, Jets, Bucks, Cardinals.
All right, so we have a lot the same here. So we can go any route you want.
Okay.
So
ooh, we got options.
We got options. I like.
Get your mouth in front of that mic, because if I have to hear about your about your volume,
I like the Bills as our first one.
All right, go ahead, throw the Bills on there.
All right.
I like the Eagles against the Giants.
I liked it too.
Bias is all up in there.
Let's take the Falcons against the Seahawks. Let's take the Colts against the Dolphins.
I don't want to put a lot of money in the Colts. What else do we have? Do we have another option?
Commanders against the Panthers.
Yes, fill that in.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Or we need
Colts
2 more.
would be 5. So take the Colts out. Then we're at 4. Bills, Eagles, Falcons, Commanders.
All right, we still got a couple more games we can go with. How do you like that? We both like the Lions. It's plus money.
That's going to be such a toss-up.
I like it.
I say we do it.
I say we do it. Come on, shoot, dude.
We just hit, so we're playing with house money. Fuck it, let's do it. Lions,
Lions, baby. Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Come on, baby. Let's get it.
All right, so we need one more.
I'll let you.
Okay.
Since you went with me on that, hey, let's. Do we throw your Ravens on there?
No, because you picked the Bucks, so that wouldn't make any sense for us to do that.
I mean.
So I'm between. Okay, I'll give you 2 options.
Give me 2 ops.
I'm still thinking. All right, Colts. You really don't like the Colts against the Dolphins?
I don't.
Okay.
Anything can happen there.
Okay. Let's do. Okay, so Browns or Rams? Rams play the Raiders. Browns play the Bengals.
Oh my gosh!
I know it's. We're picking some brutal ones.
We got to go Rams. There's no way they lose at home.
Okay, I like it. They're 1-4, so they need to kind of get right.
We got Williams in for a tutty for the big play parlay. I think you got that pick. So
we're going with the Rams.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going Bills, Eagles, Falcons, Lions, Commanders, Rams. We're gonna do it again this week. Hopefully, we
say
get 2
it
for
one more
2.
time. So the sexy 6 is.
Sexy 6. We got Bills, Eagles, Falcons, Lions, Commanders, Rams, Dubs.
Lock them in.
Let's hit back to back. That
All
was
right,
a nice win.
Good luck, everybody.
So let's go to those studious athletes.
Yes, let's transition.
Yeah, get us rolling. Go ahead and kick us off.
Let me get in the driver's seat. Come on in.
I'm hopping in.
He's in. All right, we got a recap for week 7. Friday night, I already called it. ASU was gonna upset Utah. I don't know what they were ranked previously. I think they were 12. But ASU got the upset, 27-19. ASU's 5-1, and you got to look for them in the Big Ten since they just got switched over. Anyways, we go to the big blowout, the Red River Showdown.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be much closer.
We
but
did.
It just was not.
It wasn't. My point on that was the defense is stout. We only allowed 148 passing and 89 rushing and 0 touchdowns. Against a ranked opponent in Oklahoma, you definitely expect a lot more. It was in Oklahoma, I believe, too.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they didn't get 1 touchdown in that rivalry just goes to show you what Texas is all about this year.
That's what I was going to say. It just further solidifies what Texas has become and where they stand right now. They're just top tier.
We're ready for Georgia.
Yeah.
We're ready for Georgia.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah. So let's keep moving. We got Iowa State beat WVU. So Iowa State's still in the top 10, 28-16. Oregon beat Ohio. This is a good game. Oregon beat Ohio State in the last minute.
Yeah.
32-31. My biggest outcome of this is I don't know if Oregon is legit. I got a question mark next to him. Will Howard, though, at the end of the game, did you see the play? There's 5 seconds, I think, on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Says hike. Going through his reads. It's either run, take the slide, call the timeout, or throw it out of bounds. Keep a second, right? Take a last second long field goal. That's the position they were in. They were in the position to hit that long field goal.
Yep.
He held on to the ball too long, slid with 0 seconds on the clock. They didn't even get a chance.
Can't do it.
I don't know if they would have made it because it was pretty long. It would have been like a 55 plus, maybe 60.
Yeah.
But they didn't even have a shot. So Oregon takes that. Great upset for Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon did what everybody always thinks about in their head, and they were like, when they did I guess it was a rendition of their onside kick. Just kick it right at the guy right in front of you.
Just bullet it at him.
Everybody always thinks about it, but you never see it done. They finally did it.
Yeah, shout out to Oregon. That was a good win.
Yeah.
I actually called that. That was one of the upsets that I said was going to happen. There was a 4-leg parlay. I hope somebody caught on to that and played it because it cashed.
He did not.
I did not play it like a big dummy. That takes me to my next upset. LSU takes down Ole Miss 29-26. This was a great game to watch. Classic college.
I was going to say classic SEC game.
Classic game, bro. I've been telling you guys about the Tigers. When they play at home and at night, you might as well just add like plus 10 to all their stats because it's ridiculous down there in Death Valley.
Adds the swagger.
Ole Miss is tough, but I don't think they're at the championship level. Takes me to my next one. Tennessee beats Florida barely, 23-17. Tennessee looks bad, in my opinion. I look for them to lose again next game. I think they got Bama next game. That's going to be probably a loss.
Yeah, whoever loses that game probably dropping out of the top 12.
Yeah, I'm looking for it to be Tennessee, honestly. That was I don't think Florida's that good, and 23-17 just
and I only say
doesn't do it for me.
I only say that because of how bad both teams played this past week. Like Bama and Tennessee are both at a place right now where they already have a loss, so you can't afford to not play well against lesser opponents.
Right.
And now they're going against each other next week. Someone's getting another loss, so it's going to dampen their resume.
Absolutely. They're going to drop to the 20s.
Right.
Next game was BYU, another upset that I called. BYU beat Arizona 40.
He doinked another. He's got 2 doinks.
Oh, my God. That's my fantasy right there.
You have Greg the leg?
Yes.
He's got 2 doinks.
Yeah, he's about to hit the bench. Back to it. BYU beat Arizona 41-19. BYU moves up to 14 and is still undefeated, 6-0. I've been saying it about these guys too. Watch out for BYU. If you haven't kept up with them, hopefully you are now. Moves on to couldn't get it out right there. That transition was rough.
Get in there.
You know why? This next game, Penn State barely beats USC 33-30. Penn State, they continue to win these close games, but I don't think they're legit. Everybody's telling me they're legit. You know, they don't need to. Who needs to score that many points when you have this solid defense? Yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. But when they get into these playoffs, they're going to have to put up some points. And
I mean, they're going to have tougher opponents coming up.
I was just about
Ohio State.
They won't beat Ohio State. That's my final point to this game.
Yeah,
or Penn State. They won't beat them.
I don't know. Like you said, they're just not. Their wins aren't that
impressive.
Yeah.
And in college football, I'm sorry, but in the rankings, that matters. You need to impress these
and I can't
these suits.
Yeah, I can't reiterate it enough that now that we have this expanded playoff, sure, like those wins against lesser opponents are great. You stack them up, stack wins.
Right. Undefeated looks great,
But when you get a loss against Ohio State, or say they don't lose that one and they lose to somebody else.
if they beat Ohio State, they're looking good.
Yeah,
You're right.
My point with that expanded playoff is if you get a loss, you're not necessarily out. But if you get 2 losses and one of them is a bad opponent, like you can probably kiss your
Playoffs.
top 12.
Yeah.
You're not going to be in there. So it just their only loss they could afford is maybe Ohio State and they'll be all right, but they have to just continue to stack wins.
They better beat Michigan. If they end up losing to Michigan too, that's going to be rough.
Especially where Michigan's at this year.
They're like 24 now.
Yeah, they're not.
I didn't even put them in the recap. Anyways, Notre Dame beats Stanford 41-7. Notre Dame beats Notre Dame. There it is. Notre Dame. They beat another bad team. It's going to be interesting to see how they finish. They got another good game coming up. We'll get to that.
Yeah, they're sitting at 12 right now, even with that slow.
Like I said, they got another good game coming up this week. I look for them to get upset. It's against the unranked. We'll get into that though.
Yeah.
2 more games to go. Bama, they barely beat South Carolina, 27-25. We already have kind of hit on it before earlier. Bama, they have question marks, man. And I think it's the ghost of Nick Saban. I think it's coaching with very high caliber players out there because they're still getting those top tier recruits. So that's why they're able to, whenever they do get it clicking, look scary.
Yeah.
But I gotta go back to coaching. I think it's the coaching.
Well, we said it a couple weeks ago that South Carolina is a good team. Like they played opponents very well.
Their defense is stout.
Yeah, like they played LSU really well. Should have won that game. Played Bama really well. Could have easily won this one. So they're a scrappy team. But I think, like you said, it's more concerning for
the Cocks.
The Cocks. The Bama's just not. They just don't have Nick Saban.
I think it's the ghost, man. I think it's
kind of like I said with the Jim Harbaugh, Brandon Staley thing with the Chargers, is that Nick Saban might have this team undefeated to where they're at now. You know, it's
absolutely
the ghost of Nick Saban's haunting them.
That's the tale of that take. Last game, Clemson, and this is a good one. Clemson beats Wake Forest 49-14. Dabo's got the boys playing well down there.
Dabo.
Dab.
Dabo.
I was dabbing over here.
That's his cousin.
What, Dabo?
Yeah, Dabo. You said Dabo.
How do you say it?
Dabo.
Okay, Dabo. Dabo Sweeney. Anyways, I think Clemson's going to give Miami trouble in the ACC. It's not even jumping the gun. They're ranked number 10.
Yeah, it's going to be their.
I think it's a healthy call.
Yeah.
But I do. I think Clemson they got a better coach, but they don't have better players. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting whenever you get to the ACC championship.
Yeah, Miami had a bye week this week, so didn't get to see them in action, but still sitting in that top 10, sitting at number 6. So they have Louisville next week. Well, let's go ahead and get to that.
Hold on, no.
Go ahead, keep going.
No. One more, and this is the one that I like to cap off at all my recaps, just because it's so many fireworks. Boise State beats Hawaii 28-7. Ashton Genty.
Another one.
217 for 2 tutties. Didn't even need to play the fourth quarter, pretty much. Just unreal numbers.
Just further solidifying that Heisman resume.
Absolutely. That's my pick. Yes. So let's jump into that next week, Brent.
So while we're on that Heisman, while I brought that up, so we have an update.
Odds.
Ashton Genty at 1 at plus 185.
Plus 185?
Yeah. He was plus 200 last week, so he bumped up a little bit.
God, that's like almost they're just giving it to him now.
Yeah, well, a lot of season left.
Yeah, no, for sure, but 185 is low.
After this past week, Dylan Gabriel moves into number 2, plus 250. Cameron Ward sitting at 6.
He beat Ohio State. He played well.
So now Cam Ward's 3rd at plus 650. Jalen Milroe plus 1,400. Travis Hunter, plus 1,400.
Oh.
So, Quinn Ewers snuck back in, plus 1,500.
Hey, I might sprinkle. Especially if he comes out in Dogs, Georgia, 4 tutties. So,
the only thing is, I feel like it's just going to be hard for the committee to give it to him because he got time.
Yeah, he did, man. Yeah, so, for sure.
unless any of the other
No way.
these other dudes miss time.
No way they take it away from Genty.
Like we talked about it, Genty has to continue this run. Now he doesn't necessarily have to get 200 yards each game.
I'd say 100 yards and a tutty.
Yeah, like you said, yeah.
100 yards and a tutty, he'd be all right.
Which is very doable for him at this point. He stands back there like Michael Myers ready to slay the defense. I know you saw that meme.
He's got a mixture of like Derrick Henry and Reggie Bush this year.
Yeah, the thing is,
like
he's not.
05 Reggie Bush.
I don't know how big he actually is. He doesn't seem like that big of a dude, but he's just running over motherfuckers.
Yeah, he kind of looks like MJD. Maurice Jones-Drew.
That's a good comparison there.
So let's go ahead and hit the Week 8 preview for the NCAA. We got I wouldn't say a lot, but we got a good bit of good games you guys should check out. The first one we got, number 2 Oregon versus Purdue. They're at Purdue. The reason why I got this one out is Purdue's defense is pretty solid. So if Oregon is that tough, we're going to see them perform against another tough defense like they did against Ohio State. Mm-hmm. So if they ball out against Purdue, I got to give it to Oregon. They might be legit. That question mark might have to get erased. Next game is Oklahoma State at number 13 BYU. Like I said, number 13 BYU. I look for them to finally make their push into the playoffs after this week with a ass to belt or belt to ass. There we go.
Ass to belt.
Yeah. Belt to ass beating on Oklahoma State. So look for that BYU upset. You got number 6 Miami at Louisville.
Yeah, so this is one that I talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
this is one of Miami's biggest opponents.
It's an ACC matchup. It's arguably all right. So the two games that we're about to talk about is the battle of the ACC. You got Miami at Louisville, and then Virginia at Clemson.
Yeah. So
go ahead. This is your drive.
Louisville no longer is ranked because they've had a couple bad losses. They were ranked earlier in the season,
mm-hmm.
and that's when I said this will be Miami's toughest test. I still believe it is.
Clemson's their toughest test.
I don't think they play Clemson regular season.
Check that.
I did. They
okay. Don't. Okay. Well then, yeah, this is their definitely their toughest test. Unless they, I think Virginia has a tough team too.
Yeah. I mean, so looking at Miami's schedule here, they have Florida State, Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest,
Georgia Tech's a tough team.
Duke is 5-1, Georgia Tech is 5-2, and Syracuse is 5-1. So
mm-hmm.
on paper, they look like tough tests, but I don't know. Louisville seems like the toughest test out of all those.
It's definitely a game to watch this week.
Yeah.
And that other one, like I said, Virginia at Clemson. I look for Clemson to have a tougher battle with Virginia. But if they do show out and blow them out, then that just solidifies Clemson. So the next game is number 7 Bama at number 11 Tennessee. I got Bama winning this one.
Yeah, I think Bama.
I just don't think Tennessee has it, and this is going to be a low-scoring SEC defensive dogfight.
Yeah,
but
Tennessee,
Bama, I got Bama on that one.
I have Bama too, just because Tennessee the last 2 weeks their offense has been very underwhelming.
Very.
So it's just hard to see it changing.
Hopefully Nico still has that ball that he carried out of bounds at that one game.
Still got it with him.
Yeah. Next game is number 12 Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. I got this game in there just because this is one of my upsets.
Well, yeah, as I just said, Georgia Tech's sitting at 5-1, so looks good on paper.
They're one of their losses. I think their one loss is against Bama.
Or sorry, they're 5-2.
One of their losses is against Bama. I think it's against an SEC team, but they played them very well.
They lost to Louisville and Syracuse.
Who did they upset? They upset somebody real good.
Florida State, first game of the year.
That's what it was. Okay. No, was it another one? Did they have another one? No. Okay. They got a decent team, so if Notre Dame is for real and they want to stay in the playoffs, they got to win this game. They're number 12. Mm-hmm. If they take another loss, they're done. Brings us to the next game. You got number 8 LSU at Arkansas. I got this one circled just because LSU's in it, and I look for them to keep climbing that ladder. Hopefully, eventually get over Bama and Tennessee. They're my pick for the SEC. Is it South?
I don't. The SEC.
Yeah,
that's so big now.
It's too big. Anyways, they're one of my
That's
top
what she
picks.
said.
LSU. Whoa. Easy.
You said
Easy.
it.
Hey, we made it all the way to college football
You
without
said
one of
it.
those.
You said it.
You were thinking it.
You said it.
LSU definitely. I got them winning this game, but we'll see. We'll see. Arkansas is pretty tough. Last game.
Biggest game.
Biggest game. Number 5 Georgia at number 1 Texas.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em. Obviously, the game of the week. This is a huge statement game for Texas, man. I really think I think we've had it circled for I'm saying we like I'm playing. I think these guys have had it circled since the start of the year that they need to win this game to prove that they belong in the national championship and that they are contenders.
Yeah, and if Georgia wins it, it makes a mess.
It makes a
because you have
mess.
Alabama beating Georgia.
It just
Georgia
throws
beating Texas
and I think that's what everybody wants because no one wants that number 1 team.
to just be.
Number 1. No one wants it.
Yeah, no one wants
So,
the number 1 team just.
I've been
rolling.
hearing a lot of, I think Georgia, and I'm just like,
Hook 'em.
Yeah, hook 'em. like you're not being serious because if you had money, you're putting it on Texas. You're just saying it because you're talking to me.
Yeah,
You got
so
that Clings hate, not Texas hate.
if
Come
Texas beats Georgia, where do you think Georgia goes from there? Because they'll now have a loss to Alabama and Texas, which are top.
I think they stay in the top 12, but I
probably
think
dangle them at 11 or 12.
11 or 12.
Yeah.
But you can't. I hate to say it, they're not going to drop them out of there. There's no other team that maybe beat they might put them at 13 just to make them win a couple more games. You know what I'm saying? They
Could be.
might. I could see that actually.
Something to keep an eye on.
Hold on,
It'll be a great game.
They're at 5 right now.
Yeah.
They don't have a loss. They're undefeated, right, Georgia?
No, they lost to Bama.
They lost to Bama. That's right. Yeah, they'd have to move. They'd
It's
have
going
to
to make it interesting.
Yeah,
This
but
is that shit we were talking about at the beginning of the year. It's like
Right.
when you get to this stage of the season, it's like, okay, now they lost to Bama. Bama lost to Vanderbilt. Now Georgia's ahead of Bama. You guys are playing Georgia. If you beat Georgia, what the hell do they do from there?
Right.
Like, it's just such a mess.
It's a fucking headache. Last thing on the game, I'm going Texas at a 9.5 win.
That's your confidence?
That's my confidence.
9.5 out of 10?
Yeah, no. Take their spread.
Spread at minus
negative
9.5.
9.5. We're going to win by 10 points.
Okay.
At least.
You heard it here first on Jumping the Gun.
Jumping the gun.
All right. Anything else you want to say about college before we move on?
No, let's go ahead and talk some bats.
Talk some bats.
We got playoff baseball still in the mix.
Yeah. I'll say it loud and proud. Fuck the Yankees.
Fuck them.
I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding. But on a serious note, they handled the Royals kind of with no
3-1.
problem. Yeah, 3-1. Cleveland sneaks by Detroit 3-2.
They cooled off a hot Detroit team.
They got to Scooble, and that
I
was,
had
that's what they needed to
Detroit
do.
winning that one too.
Yeah. Well, it was a damn good matchup. They needed to get to Scooble, and that's how they got over the hump there.
Yep.
Dodgers escaped the Padres 3-2. That was a good series.
Fuck the Dodgers. The Dyers.
And the Phillies with another postseason letdown. Mets take the series 3-1. Philadelphia's in a tough spot right now.
Easy.
You're only an Eagles fan.
I know, but easy. Easy.
Yeah, so let me give you an update because we had
My
the
two
Mets.
World Series teams are still they're still in there.
Yeah,
both of ours.
So today the Mets beat the Dodgers to take game 1. Or sorry, the series is tied 1-1 in the NLCS, and then the Yankees beat the Guardians to take a 1-0 lead in the ALCS.
What was the final score of that?
So 7-3.
I know Soto hit
Mets,
a bomb. His first bomb of this playoffs. It was a nuke.
Mets beat the Dodgers 7-3, tied up the series 1-1. Yankees beat the Guardians 5-2 to take the lead 1-0.
Okay.
So let's go Guardians. Guard up. Whatever you guys say. For the CLE till I die. Come on. Come on.
The land.
Come on, D. We need it. Come on. Help your boy out. Hopefully they can pull it off. They'll be a tougher opponent than the Royals. I know that.
Yeah. I think it goes the distance.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
I could see it.
The Mets tied it up today 1-1, and they're just a hot team. And in the postseason with baseball, it's good to be the hottest team, not necessarily the best team, if that makes sense. Doesn't matter.
No.
Once you get to
you're talking to the guy who went to the World Series based off of that analogy.
That's a perfect, So
I hear you.
Diamondbacks did it last year, and it looks like the Mets are doing it this year. They're just a hot team at
Francisco
the right time.
Lindor.
Like 3 home runs in 4 games.
Just hit another one tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's on a tear. Mets are, like I said, just sometimes it's better to be the hot team than the best team, and they're playing probably the best team in the Dodgers when you look at it on paper.
Dodgers. The Dyers.
Dodgers.
Do the Mets do the same cheer as the Jets? M-E-T-S. Mets.
I don't think so.
No? Yeah, that sounds kind of corny.
So, yeah.
With baseball wrapping, are we done with baseball? You got any more?
What is this?
You got any more pitches left in the arm?
No, I mean I think these are good matchups here. I think these series will be good, and that's about all we got.
Yeah. So with baseball wrapping up, that's going to leave us a good bit of time for our podcast. So we just want to mention that NHL season, NHL season just started up. So we'll kind of talk about
now. You know how to
talk about the ice.
CAPS. Caps. Let's go Caps.
Yeah.
Baby.
Okay.
Now
Flyers lost our first game, so
we're kind of in
terrible.
a rebuild right now. The Caps are
same with Philly.
They got a bunch of new names, new faces. I got to get familiar with. So
yeah, we'll briefly touch up on that. We'll get into that once baseball
NBA
wraps it up.
Is also in preseason right now, so I think they start next week. I have to double check that.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of the preseason. Did you see Braun and Bronny made their first the first father-son?
Yeah, that was pretty
duo.
cool.
It was on Phoenix, by the way. I'm a Suns fan. We haven't touched on our NBA fandom, but I am a Phoenix Suns boy from Arizona, so I got to rock with them.
Yeah, so the season starts next week. So with the NHL and NBA, we probably won't be diving too deep into those, but we'll just shoot our shit with that and keep you guys updated, keep ourselves kind of updated on almost with that.
Yep, so that'll fill in the Talking Bats segment.
Yeah, so
we'll be talking hoops.
Talking hoops.
You like that? Yeah, we can go Talking Bats to Talking Hoops.
And talking puck? I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah,
we'll work on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's finish up with some military stuff I got for you.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we kind of teased last week, but we cut it short.
I gotta make
We're
sure
still
I got
trying to
my
figure out
ducks
the timing
in
with
line
everything,
here.
what we like, what we don't like. I don't know. We're messing with stuff here. So he's wetting the whistle over there as I gear up here. Now
I gotta make sure I don't make my boys look bad.
Here we go.
I want to do that.
So
we got the Marine Corps birthday coming up. I can't be looking bad over there. Marine Corps birthday is November 11th, by the way, for all you guys out there.
All you jarheads.
Yeah.
You like that? Is that what,
you
guys like to be called?
No, I mean, you call us whatever you want. Grunts, we pretty much go by, hey, you, fucker. Anything you want to say.
So, we talk a lot about this kind of stuff because we're just working a lot, shooting the shit. But I had some questions about support you guys had as a unit, as a group. So when I say support,
November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday.
You were a day off.
Yeah, I was thinking Veterans Day.
Okay. So 10, 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get those 2 days. We Marines, I got to hijack the segment real quick. We're very proudful on those 2 days, and we're normally drunk from one day to the next, so it's just a big jumble. So November 10th and 11th, that's our days.
There you go. All right, so back to the question. How often did you guys use support, as in air support, other units joining you guys? Like, how often did you guys, more so with the air support and stuff like that, like how often were you guys
air
using
support?
that,
You mean like dropping bombs?
Yeah, airstrikes.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
UAVs, is that a thing?
That's not a real thing.
Okay.
I mean, at least I have no knowledge of a UAV.
Well, so let's start there first before we get to that, for you to
Okay.
answer that question, you mentioned earlier the Marines are kind of like old school.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are using hard.
I wouldn't say old school. I would say poor.
Okay.
Think of
You said you were using
think of
hard copy maps.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
think of our military branches as cliques in school.
Okay.
Okay. The Marines are the poor kids, the poor dirty kids. Let me get a pencil. You got a piece of paper. Had their heads down. The whole class wants
Yeah.
to fight everybody. That's the infantry.
So
of
who
the
gets
Marine
the
Corps.
nice stuff? Who gets all the toys?
The Air Force, Chair Force, Army normally gets their hand-me-downs, and then we're the last bit to get them. Like
Okay.
when I went through boot camp, we weren't even shooting with RCOs on our M16s. We were still using iron sights.
Okay.
Nowadays, in boot camp, everybody trains with some kind of optic, which I don't agree on, because if that optic gets broke in combat situation, you need to know how to
right.
shoot iron sights.
Right.
So I don't agree with that, but that's where our government's just, to be
Giving
honest,
money to the-
no, I wouldn't say
about?
that. I was going to go a different way. I was going to say our government is too naive and unexperienced, and they're doing kind of like what your questions are. They resemble Call of Duty. What you see on TV, what you see on
Right,
video
right.
games.
That's how they think it
And that's how they're
operates.
thinking it. They think that operates like that, and
Yeah.
it doesn't at
Okay.
all. You got to be out there. It doesn't at all.
Yeah, because I'm coming from a standpoint I don't know
Right.
I don't know shit
No,
about it, so
100%.
that's why I'm here to ask. Like
For sure.
maybe I can help other people
Yeah,
understand.
give the insight.
So yeah, back to the original question. Sorry,
Yeah.
we kind of got off on a
No,
tangent
that's
there.
what this is for. Give an insight of
Yeah. So
the
how
military.
often were you guys using support like that, like airstrikes, tanks? Like how often was
Okay,
that involved with you guys?
great question. So my first deployment, we didn't really use too at least my unit, at least my squad, we didn't use too much air support or anything like that.
Okay.
We might have had the occasional like C-130 up in the air for support, or somebody up in kind of like not a sonar, but kind of like a UAV. Basically, the eyes in the sky.
Okay.
So I guess you would have UAV, but it's not like
Not
to
what you
where
think,
not
right.
what you think. It's
Right.
not that like, oh,
You don't have
I
a
can.
scanner.
Yeah, there's
popping
no
up, like,
iPad.
there's dots.
Yeah, there's no iPad with the guy right around the corner kind of thing. You're
Right.
listening to somebody tell you, hey, this guy. We see guys in a bush 20 meters out around
Okay.
the corner.
Gotcha.
They're doing something kind of janky. We can't really tell. They could be digging. They could just be taking a piss. You never know.
Eyes up.
Exactly. Yeah, basically. Just
Yeah.
just a heads up.
Okay.
With the airstrikes, though, my second deployment, we got active.
Mm-hmm.
We got very active out there. We were known as the Helo Company for Alpha Company 1-8.
Mm-hmm.
Helo Company.
Shout out.
Shout out to my guys. We went out there and did our thing. A lot of air support, a lot of bombs, a lot of.
Yeah. So what kind of air support?
We had what's called a JDAM. It's a huge bomb. We had a couple of those get dropped.
Where is that coming from the sky?
That's coming from a sky. That's coming from a huge plane dropping a huge bomb, and it makes a huge noise.
Big boom.
It keeps everybody. Basically ends the fighting for the day. When we drop those things, contact would almost be zero afterwards.
Right.
We had it one time where after we dropped it, my squad actually got into and this is shout out to Three Deuce. We actually got into what I believe is known as the longest troops in contact for Afghanistan in our area. It was a 12-hour firefight, and when I say 12 hours, it felt like 2 days.
Right.
We dropped it. What happened was we dropped the JDAM. Contact pretty much ceased. Right after that, they started shooting at us again, and we kind of were like caught off
Damn,
guard.
like, yeah.
We were caught off guard. We're like,
Damn,
man,
it usually does it.
we must be in pretty bad shape over here.
Yeah.
Or not bad shape, but enemy.
They got more people than you thought.
Yeah, we were definitely caught off guard. And so what happened was my CO decided to send my squad to kind of push around and kind of like flank them.
Mm-hmm.
And when we flanked them, they kind of pulled back a little bit and gained new ground. So when we filled into where they were, they already had new positions and everything like that. And they started hitting my squad, and my squad cut off fires from our other two platoons. So we had no support. So it was basically us 12 guys versus, who knows,
Right.
20 plus, 30 plus guys.
Right.
And they actually started getting around us. It was
Shit hit the fan.
yeah, shit hit the fan. But
So you
back
have
to
those-
it, we
yeah.
had the airstrikes. So that's to the question. While we were making that movement, that push, to get ground on these guys. We had a couple flyovers go by. I have no idea what they were dropping. I want to say it's called Willie Pete. It's some kind of agent, some kind of gas, some kind of bomb. But this thing came by, and when it dropped it, I thought we were getting hit. That's how close this stuff was.
Low?
It was low. There's videos on YouTube of it. You can go look it up. 1-8 Marines in Afghanistan, if you want to look it up. It was close. Sorry, I kind of had a little flashback there.
So you have those two. Now, what other guys or what other?
They do what's called a show of force. It's basically where a huge jet, will fly as low as it can over the area that you're at, that you're maybe getting contact, and you might not know where they're at, but you just want to scare them a little bit. They do what's called a show of force, because when these guys over there, when they see or hear anything in the air flying, they hide like cockroaches, like fucking cockroach. Yeah, and so we do a show of force, and these jets, man, shout out to the Air Force, shout out to the Marine Corps pilots. These guys get it done. They fly by and so low that you can see the bottom
Sonic
of their
boom.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's definitely an experience.
Now, did you guys get any helo Overwatch? Like, did you guys have any chopper gunners coming in or anything like that?
Yeah, so whenever Marines take casualties, we have what's called a casualty collection point, and that's basically like 100 meters back of wherever we're at, front line kind of thing. We try to find a nice open field for helicopters to come in. The helicopters that come in and land for these medevacs, they only come in with escorts. So while that medevac chopper comes down and picks up casualty,
they're letting it rain.
You have two other Blackhawks up in the air just
minigun in there.
Yeah, man, just getting it. Shout out Joe Brill. I know you might have been up there. So that's my guy, if you listen.
Yeah. And I know we talked about earlier mortar strikes. You said that was a big help for you guys too.
Yeah, so mortars, I got to give a shout out to my guy Jamie Orr, one of the best mortarmen I've had the privilege of working beside. These guys,
you said they're back. You guys,
they get a lot of heat because they are quote unquote in the back of the front line, but they're out there with us. They do the patrols. They do everything that we do besides when shit's going down. They do their job, which is get that tube up and start launching these things, drop bombs.
Well, and I know you said earlier, we talked about it while we were working, that these guys have to be very smart as well, because
very smart mathematicians,
coordinates, and you're dropping it into a radius where you have to be precise, or else you're hitting your own guys.
And you're shooting blind.
Right, that's the crazier thing, because you said that you guys set up camp and you guys go out wherever you're at.
Patrol, we patrol our area.
Right,
yep.
like off of base. Like you guys go to your DZ?
Basically we'll have it's called a FOB, a forward operating base. It's like a quick, like we'll fly in, we'll set up a quick one, and then we'll send people out from there. But that's the FOB, that's where the mortarmen will stay while we go patrol or clear out those villages that we just flew into. But these mortarmen, they have to be so precise because they're, like I said, they're shooting blind. Basically what happens is, say my squad's out on this patrol and we need some smoke coverage, or we know where these guys are. They're in, a compound 2 clicks up. We see them shooting. We basically call up to these guys and these mortarmen, and we're like, hey, here's our pause. We need you to launch
a little extra something.
Yeah, we need it on building 37. Can you? Yeah, go ahead. Then they go splash out. We say splash over. Boom, 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 and it's easy as that. But like I said, you have to be so professional. I guess that's the word, is professional. You have to be professional, but also quick reaction too. You have to trust your instincts, trust your training.
Well, yeah, because you think they're getting this call, and then you guys are in mid-fight, so they don't have time to sit there and figure it out. They have to just do it. Like they got to know what they're doing.
Just a quick one. We can wrap it up with this story. It's a mortar story. So this is actually the op right after the one I just told the story, the 12-hour tick. We did an op probably a week later in almost the same area. And what had happened is we were leaving the FOB. We were stepping out to do a little patrol and clear a couple buildings. Well, when we did that, we expected our mortarmen to shoot some smoke beyond us, way beyond us, so we could get out and kind of like move to our area and kind of like surprise, like almost like a magic trick.
Right.
And because that's what you use smoke for. I think I said it on the last episode. We talked about military. Smoke's huge.
Yep.
So that was the plan. If you don't have a smart guy back there, I'm not going to say any names, but if you don't have a smart guy back there, or you just have a guy that's not confident, or just I don't know the word for it, but not the right guy, you're going to have some accidents. So what happened was me, shout out to Christ and Yoshi, if you are listening, or if you guys listen to this, you're going to have a laugh. We step out of FOB, we're patrolling. Within 5 steps of stepping out, we hear the mortar go off. Boom! All of a sudden, boom! It hits like 20 feet, 30 feet away from us, and it's a smoke round. So we thought an RPG. We thought to our left was a compound opening with a couple doors. We actually thought somebody opened the door and shot an RPG out from it. So you have me trying to catch my balance because that thing just like took the wind out of me and rocked me. I'm like stumbling. Yosh has a 240 gun, a huge machine gun. He's trying to use that as like a cane to stand back up. And
it shook y'all.
It shook us. And next thing you know, Yosh racks his gun and he's about to light up this corner, these doors, like just light it up because we thought RPG.
Right.
Next thing you know, the guy that's up on post right up above the fob, he's looking down at us. He's like, "You guys all right?" Da, da, da. We're like, "What the fuck?" You almost hit us.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we got your paws, not the other paws."
It's a big difference.
That's a huge difference. My mortarmen that are listening to this story and remember that was pretty wild.
Clings had to change his pants after.
Yeah, I had a lot of things that I'm not going to repeat.
So
profanity.
Further of this question that I had started with tanks. Did you guys have tank support with you?
Yeah, we used tanks not for what you think of. We used them to basically make entrances in the buildings. We got tired of on our first deployment and prior Marine units had this issue with Taliban putting IEDs on the entrances. Basically, anything that looks like the normal way of doing things, that's where they were putting the IEDs. So pathways, entryways.
Trying to hide them in plain sight almost.
Yeah. Basically, exactly. So, and a big thing with that is when they would shoot, they had them on the mounds. They had IEDs like in their mounds on their poppy fields. So when they would shoot at us, they knew our SOP, which is drop down, get covered behind a berm. So they were putting the IEDs on the berms. And a lot of our guys got hit by that. So these guys are smart over there. Very smart.
So tank support.
Tanks. So we use these tanks. Sorry.
No, hey,
you know how it goes. You know how it goes. I need reeled back in. I get on those daydreams.
It's all right.
But those tanks, we use the tanks to blow the holes into the walls because we're like, fuck that. We're not going to keep going in the doors and getting blown up. We're just going to blow your shit up.
Right.
We'll just come
blow
through
it
the
up
walls.
before we get blown up.
Yeah, fuck that. So that's the only time I got to see tanks used.
You said you could feel them bitches though.
You feel it. When they shot, they actually go back like 10 feet when they shoot.
Right.
And you have to stay in clear. You can't be
next to them.
Anywhere close to that thing. They're powerful, man.
Hell yeah, I bet.
It's definitely an experience.
And last question, it's branching off of what we've just been talking about. Airstrikes, stuff like that. When you're in battle like that, who's making those calls? First part of the question. Second part, do you need clearance for that?
Yes. Yes and yes. Yes to you need clearance. People making the calls, you want to say it comes down from your leadership. If the task at hand is a platoon clear, it would be the CO that's probably going to be saying that. But if it's a squad clear,
when you say CO, is that someone in battle with y'all?
That's your commanding officer. It's
Okay.
normally a captain.
I knew that actually.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But he's normally making that call if he has all 3 platoons. We had that off and on my second deployment, but more so it was on the squad. We did a lot of squad squad clears. So it was me and my buddy Christ making those calls.
Okay.
He was the patrol leader. He was our squad leader. I was just I was the assistant patrol leader of the APL. So it was me and him in charge of.
So you guys were out there making those calls
anywhere from
if you needed to.
Anywhere from 15 to 20. If we needed some kind of air support or any kind of backup or assistance, it was me and him making the calls.
So let's touch on that second part of that question, the clearance part. So if you're in the heat of battle and you
need clearance to.
So how do you get the clearance? Because obviously
you would call it up. Like, so what do you mean by? What am I asking? What am I asking clearance for?
If you're in the heat of battle, say you need air support.
All right, so I'm in contact. I'm getting shot at.
You call straight in and say, hey, we need air support.
Yeah, there's not even.
Send it? Or?
Yeah, they already. All right, so with the Marine Corps, we work really. Our communication's key. I mean, you're going to hear that throughout any of us talking. So we're constantly talking. So technically, if we're in that, if shit's going down that bad, they already know.
Okay.
They're already doing that.
That was my question.
They're already doing that for us. Yeah, they're probably already like, hey, you got birds inbound. You know, we just need a. Yeah, we work so well as a team to where if that's going down, someone's already working for us.
Okay, yeah, that answers my question.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're in the heat of the battle, obviously you don't have time to say, hey, we need this, can we get it? Like, you need to say, they'll just say, hey, you got it on the way already, we know.
Yeah,
so,
and that actually happened in that 12-hour tick. We used so many assets, and that shout out to my man Christ, Justin Christ, not Jesus Christ, Justin Christ. He's a Marine, lives in Baltimore or area, whatever. Anyways, shout out to him for being just, not to mention he was only 21.
Yeah.
So being a professional at that young of an age, I got to give it to him. I've seen him do some crazy professional stuff. He dodged an RPG, called in so many fire missions while being shot at. Just absolute savage. And when I speak on the professionalism of the Marine Corps Brotherhood, I'm speaking for each and every guy that was in 1-8.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing but professionals.
Love to hear it. We'll definitely dive more into it. I think that was a nice little session right there.
Yeah, facts.
So we'll definitely dive more into it later on.
Shout out to the 1-8 fam. I hope I'm doing well for you guys.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and not step on any toes and ask things the wrong way. So if I ever don't feel free.
You never do. Trust me. We enjoy talking about it. It's rare now. Just with the time frame, it's rare now that we get to talk about our past. So we enjoy when we get asked. At least I do. I especially from somebody that you trust with the information and anything like that. It's a therapy session for us. So
I come straight from
it.
curiosity. That's all.
Yeah, and that's what this is for.
I'm the type. The more you know, the better. So I just like to know.
Yeah,
to get other people's perspectives.
And you might as well get it from the horse's mouth.
That's it,
and not from some Call of Duty or Fox.
There you go.
You know.
All right, so let's finish this thing up with some big play parlay. We got a dub.
We got a dub. We
Let's
hit.
We had a late.
Just show me my money.
Just show me my money. We had a late touchdown score from Amon Ra in garbage time.
Yes, sir.
Love to see it. So this week we got. Or no, I'll go with mine and then he can go with his and then we'll wrap it up. So I got Kyron Williams, Rams running back against the Raiders, and then J.K. Dobbins, Chargers running back against the Cardinals.
Okay.
And
I like it.
I
have Saquon Barkley against the Giants. He's returning home. It's got
to score, right?
Got to. And then I really didn't want to do it, but you told me it was a good pick, and I'm going to run with it. Travis Etienne.
I liked it.
Jags against the Patriots in London. They're out there. He normally scores out there. In
I like
London.
the pick.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I got Barkley and Travis Etienne.
Yeah, so the big play parlay this week will be Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne, Kyron Williams, and J.K. Dobbins.
Let's get another one.
Let's go back to back.
Come on.
Back to back on them. So that'll wrap this thing up. We thank y'all. We hope that you keep sharing.
Yeah, share it. Get us out there.
We're trying to get it out there. We're still working on getting that video rolling and stuff like that. So if you can, share it. We'll get this thing rolling and keep it rolling. Till then, be kind, spread love. We'll see y'all next week.
We out.